Hey everyone, I just want to thank you guys for tuning into my video. I am aware that you don't have to, I know that you don't, and I'm just grateful that you are taking the time out of your day to watch my videos. And I don't want to forget that throughout the time that I'm doing this. I know this is only my second video, but I'm just grateful that people are actually taking out the time to look at what I'm putting out there. But today I just wanted to get on here and vent a little bit. I know that throughout basically the entirety of my life, I've been known as a quiet girl. I was always like seen as a shy, timid girl, reserved, doesn't say much. I don't interact a lot with people. I always keep to myself. I don't express myself in conversations. And I just wanted to address one of the reasons why I am that way, or I have been that way, because I'm currently growing out of that. I do want to talk more. I do desire to have more conversations, better conversations. I want to be more engaging with people. And this is one of the ways that I'm starting to do that. And to everybody that had an issue with me being quiet, that hated on me for it, or saw me as bougie because I was quiet, or whatever the reason is, to those people, please don't tell me to shut up when I start talking. But today, what I wanted to talk about was family illusions, or at least my illusions of family. Growing up, I always had this illusion of family, and I want to know if I'm like the only one that has had this vision or this view of what family is supposed to be like, or what family is. I always thought that the family that I grew up in, the relationship that we had, that's the relationship that I guess everybody else had with their family. Like, I thought that the relationships that I would see portrayed in movies and shows, I thought that those were fake. So when it actually came down to the times where I was able to witness it in real life, I did not believe that it was real. I thought that they were just putting on a show. So I thought, like, you know, when there's like spectators around, when there's people that they know that they want to make a good impression on, they don't want them to see the bad sides of their family or whatever, they would just, act accordingly. And I thought it was fake. But now I'm coming to realize that that wasn't true, and the way that I viewed family was just an illusion. I was just accustomed to the way that I grew up. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that today. And I wanted to know if there was like anybody that relates to me, anybody that has had similar views or similar experiences in that area. So growing up, to be honest, my relationship with my family members, my immediate family, my two parents and my two other siblings, we never really had a relationship. I don't really know what to say or how to describe it, but one thing that I will point out is that we never talked to each other. And I'm not saying that the house was quiet all the time and nobody was saying anything, but my parents would talk. They would talk to each other. They would argue, typical relational stuff. And me and my brother, we would like, yeah, we would play around and stuff. My older brother, we would play around and stuff. We would play games. We would, we were just being kids, but there was no real relationship between the children and the parents. The household was kind of like this. My mom, throughout my childhood, was a stay-at-home mom. So she would do the cooking, the cleaning, all that stuff. She would go to the school for report card day, parent-teacher conference day, all those things. And my father would go to work, and he would come home, relax, watch TV. My mom would cook. She would serve him food. They would eat, watch TV, relax, talk about maybe their day or something they experienced or whatever, or something that happened in the family, the typical stuff. But there was never really any interaction with the kids as far as on a personal level. It would always be school, how we're doing in school, what we need, the things that we needed. What I'm trying to say is that they did what they were supposed to do as parents, as far as providing, as far as taking care of us, as far as doing their parental duties, doing what they were supposed to do as parents. But when it came to us, when it came to our relationship, when it came to what we needed as kids, there was never there was a lacking, there was a space, there was a void that was never filled. There was no I love yous, there was no hugging, there was no how was your day, there was no effort to find out the people that we were at the time, and the people that we were growing up to be. So because it's been like this throughout my childhood, I never really learned how to communicate with people. I didn't understand what expressing yourself meant. I just became this quiet person who held everything in, who didn't speak on things, because I thought that was the best way for me to avoid trouble, for me to avoid conflict, for me to avoid getting whooped. I learned very early that it's not okay to talk back to your elders. I didn't feel like I had the space or the opportunity to have an opinion about anything, because I never was given that room to express myself. So I kind of naturally fell into this place of being this quiet girl. It affected the way that my relationships outside of my family formed. It affected the way that other people saw me. It kind of led to the many things that took place in my life that probably shouldn't have happened. Or no, not probably, it shouldn't have happened, but it did because of that, and because there was a lot of things that I didn't learn growing up. There's a lot of things that I didn't know how to do. I didn't know who I was or anything about myself. So I did a lot of things that I wasn't supposed to do. I got involved in things that I shouldn't have, and I built relationships that I shouldn't have because of it. And I'm currently trying to heal and trying to get past and trying to grow out of that person that I was. I don't believe that I was meant to be a quiet person. Although, yes, I will say that there are traits of a quiet person, a quiet introverted person, that I do have and I do like and prefer. Maybe it's because of the things that I was able to avoid while being like this, but I do prefer serenity. I do prefer peace. I do think that I function better when I'm alone. I do feel like my true self and my true personality, who I am, comes out more when I'm alone versus when I'm with people. Because then when I'm with people, I feel like I have to I don't know, lower myself, because either I'm afraid of being embarrassed, or I'm afraid that they're going to look at me a certain way, or I'm afraid that they're going to think certain things about me. And I don't know where this self-consciousness came from, but I've always been self-conscious, and I've always been afraid to be myself around people. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter who it is. I have always had this fear of being myself around people. And I'm trying to get more comfortable being me. I'm trying to figure out who I am as a person, and just grow, be a better version of me. I no longer want to be known as this quiet girl that doesn't speak or isn't assertive. When people would get mad at me for being quiet, I didn't even understand why they were upset. They would just be mad at me. People took issue with me being quiet, and I really didn't understand why. It was like either I speak and people get upset, or I say nothing and people get upset, and I didn't know what to do with myself at that point. So I guess it was easier for me to stay quiet, so I did. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I've experienced as a child growing up that has shaped me into the person that I am. And I know that there's many others out there that have similar stories, that have been through similar things, maybe not the same thing, but everybody has a reason as to why they are the way that they are. And it could be from it. A lot of the times it is from trauma. A lot of the times it is from the things that we experienced as a child. Things that we can't really talk about. Things that we don't feel safe expressing. Things that we didn't even realize was wrong at the time until we got older and somebody told us that it was wrong. So yeah, I really just wanted to come on here and vent a little bit about the family illusion that I had. And I really wanted to know if there were other people out there that had a similar view on family. So once again, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.